Hello everyone. This video, as promised, will be about financial on how the concept of envelope budgeting works. So let's quickly go into what is the envelope budgeting concept. It's quite simple actually.
Assuming that you have a fixed salary of 5,000 a month, and what you need to do is you need to have a breakdown in the concept of envelope or budget, concept of envelope or bucket. So you allocate a certain amount to your bucket or the envelope. For instance, I have like a three envelopes here, and I label each of the envelopes, for instance, grocery, petrol, and toll. So you literally have envelopes, you label on top of them, and you say grocery. So the moment you get your salary, for instance, you get 5,000. So in here you allocate about, let's say, let's change the color. Let's say you allocate about 500 ringgit for groceries. Maybe you allocate about 300 ringgit for your petrol and 300 ringgit for your toll. So what happens is, out of the 5,000 ringgit that you get as a salary, you literally take out your money and you put in 500 into your grocery envelope or your bucket, yeah? And you put 300 ringgit in your petrol envelope, and you put another 300 ringgit in your toll. Now the whole concept of this envelope is, when you spend, you can only spend according to what you have budgeted in the envelope. For instance, I'm going to Tesco, and the bill shows that I'm going to spend about 550. Can I spend 550? No, I can't, because I only have 500 in the budget. So in this way, you actually control yourself from overspending. So that's the concept of the envelope. Now, life happens. You tend to overspend, or just emergency that you got to spend for the extra diaper, powder milk, and it is expensive. I can understand that. So what you can do is, in terms of the envelope concept, you still maintain within your 5,000 ringgit budget that you have. You could have spent, I'm going to put this in rate because you overspend about 550. What happened to the rate? You overspend about 500. Come on, rate. Okay, there you go. You overspend about 550 ringgit. So you have a deficit of 50 ringgit here, right? So you know that maybe your toll is going to cost you only about 100 ringgit. So you could actually move 50 ringgit from here to the grocery envelope, which means now you have about 250 ringgit after minusing the budget. You put the 50 ringgit into the grocery. So that's how the concept of envelope budgeting works, and you can create a lot more envelopes and buckets here, which fills in, and you cannot exceed your salary of 5,000 ringgit. So that is an overall concept of how the envelope budget works, and it really works for me. At least I've been using this concept for a long time now. The only difference is I don't put my money from the bank physically into an envelope. I use a software called Moneywell. And now I'm actually experimenting with a software called You Need a Budget. So you can try this. This is the same concept. So you put in, and probably in the later videos I will share how the software actually works. And you can have an app. So the best part about all this is it's an app. You have an app that when you go out and before you spend, you look at the app and say, do I have the money for this? If you don't spend. Very simple. And the concept of envelope budgeting also goes beyond, meaning that you can start saving for the future. For instance, that you know that each year you have your car insurance and your road tax to pay, and that is a hefty amount. So you don't start, finding money at the end of the year to pay your road tax. You start budgeting right now. So for instance, you can create another envelope here, and you can just put here for your car or your road tax or whatever, and it's going to cost you about 1,200 ringgit. So what you do is you start budgeting from month one, which means you kind of budget like 100 ringgit. So each month you put 100 ringgit into this envelope, and when the time comes when you need to spend for your car insurance or road tax, the envelope is there, the money is there, waiting for you to pick out of it. So that's the overall concept of envelope budgeting. That's the basics of it. There is does this make me an expert? No. Does it make me a financial guru? No. Does it make me a billionaire? Not yet, at least. But that's the concept that I'm following. I'm adapting with Dave Ramsey, and I think it's pretty good concept in terms of budgeting, envelope budgeting. So I just wanted to share this knowledge. I'm sure it will benefit someone out there. Probably the next video I'll share in terms of how to use a software with this envelope budgeting, and also the concept of debt management and how to pay off and save for your retirement. It's a lot of interesting stuff here. I hope it's been beneficial, and if you have any questions about this, or in fact you have your own opinion and idea, please put it in the comment below. See you guys.